deeper. My hands wrinkle before me, purple spots, blue veins, thin, thin. Deeper, my pancreas and liver churn, my stomach gurgles while chemo keeps my cancer entertained. And all around me, the love of my family and friends, a tangible aura lifts me into light, light.
No one thinks about it when they see poor people, homeless people. No one thinks about that they actually die. So when you have 60 people a year die in your community for various reasons, it's kind of a wake-up call. Maybe just focusing on how can we help them die comfortably. Maybe that is a good starting point. The difference is they have no place to go, and so they're forgotten.
In August of 2015, the In-Between opened its doors, and by doing so, opened up a renewed hope for the homeless that are terminally ill.
It's challenging if you have a home environment and a good family support system. And for the homeless, there is no family support system, there's no home environment, so they're struggling with a terminal diagnosis literally out on the street. And they even get to the point where they're not suitable to be in a shelter environment because they're too ill.
There are very few resources available for adequate end-of-life care.
And this gentleman who had advanced lung cancer, I went to visit him in the hospital. He'd been homeless for many years and had lived in a couple different states.
Life in a shelter is often difficult due to its temporary nature, constant theft, and the inability to provide hospice services.
And his idea of how he was going to take care of himself when he knew that he was about to die was to just go out somewhere in the woods and pitch a tent.
The In-Between offers an alternative. They provide a place to call home, a warm bed, nutritious meals, and medical care.
He just burst into tears. He said he would do anything to be able to have that kind of a place to live. And unfortunately, when I went to call him to tell him that we had a place for him, his phone was disconnected. Just the idea that he would rather just go out into the woods and quietly die on his own, alone, without any kind of comfort or care, was really sad to me.
No one should die alone, and certainly no one should die on the street.
Most people die in their home, and hospice care comes in and takes care of the pain management, the symptom control, social services, educating the family members how to deal with the end of life. That's what hospice care is all about. So if you don't have a home, you don't have a place to receive that hospice care. And that's what we are to the people we serve, is we're their surrogate home.
There is often a stigma associated with the homeless population. The In-Between overlooks each individual's past.
Doesn't matter what choices they made in their life that maybe led to a life on the streets or a life of homelessness. When they get to the In-Between, we forgive all of that, and we look to this last little bit, and we say, how can we make this as comfortable and as dignified as possible?
The In-Between provides a safe environment for both the residents and the surrounding community.
So we've had to work very closely with the community and are very careful to monitor the situation. We have very strict house rules that the residents have to agree to come and live there. And if they can't comply with those, then they can't stay.
The In-Between receives their patients from hospitals and other agencies. The hospital case manager and the director of the In-Between work together to determine if it will be an appropriate placement.
And this is a good place for people that are into healing, and it's kind of like a halfway point from the hospital to the street.
When they come here, they're so used to living on the street or living in a shelter environment where they have to pack up every day, where they have to be afraid that their belongings will be stolen, where they have to be afraid that they're going to be beat up. And here at the In-Between, it takes them a while to get used to the fact that this is their home, and they start to feel like it's their home.
But this is a great place. They treat you really well. They're good people. They have volunteers that come in and spend their time.
We really need lots of support, not only in terms of the volunteer, which it's really been amazing how many people have signed up to be volunteers. There's a lot of support from the community for this mission.
As part of the In-Between's compassionate care, they work with the residents to try and reconnect them with their family members and heal relationships.
One of our first residents, when I first interviewed him, told me he had no one in the world. And then shortly after that, his mother appeared back on the scene. When he died, it turned out there was a huge family that cared about him. And we were able to help reconnect with some of his family members. And it's a good time to try to reconnect, heal relationships, and really prepare.
My hat, it arrived this morning in a box, and I opened it. One of the ladies here, she brought it to me and said that my mother had dropped it off. So I looked in there, and there was a bunch of things from my stepdad, and I guess this was his hat.
Whether it's the In-Between in this neighborhood or another similar project trying to go into another neighborhood or area, I would just encourage people to reach into their heart and think, how would I want to be treated at the end of the life? That's what we're trying to do, and we hope that our program is replicated in other cities and other states as well.
If you just come from the hospital and your recovery seems all uphill, or maybe you've got chemotherapy, well, right here they will see you through. They'll feed you well and care about you. So come on down to the In-Between. Yeah, come down to the In-Between. Oh yeah. All donations are appreciated.